Welcome to Carpe Analysis, the Trauma Diaries number 39. Just sit back with a glass of sweet tea and let's see how I did. More importantly, how the ammunition performed. In this case, the Maker Rex bullets loaded by Druid Hill Armory in the Sterling Brass, being shot through my Lone Star Armory TX-15 multi-purpose carbine enhanced. Alright, I'm about 99% sure this is a hog. It was a hog a second ago, but I've changed over to my rifle, so I'm waiting for the head to pop up to make sure that my identification is correct. The head pops up, it's a hog. Take a shot on the move and it runs. It stops. And I shoot it just behind the head.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
This was a good size 220-pound boar. Taking a look at the first shot, it was on the move, the aim is in the shoulder and it's going to hit a little further back than that. And the second shot was meant for the head and it ended up impacting just behind the head. Here's where shot number 1 entered, it did not exit. Shot number 2 was through and through and exited after about 8 inches of penetration and having hit the cervical spine. Moving on to the Coyote, this shot at 155 yards is going to be with my last Maker Rex 95 grain bullet. It's a good shot, puts it down at 155 yards. And these next shots are going to be with Druid Hill Armory loaded Hornady SST 123 grain bullets to make sure that the Coyote is down and absolutely dead. Turned out to be a 34-pound Coyote. And then taking a look at the first shot, this looks like it should be a good neck shot. Reality is that my point of aim was here. The impact was a couple inches to the left, going through the shoulder, breaking the spine, exiting out the opposite side with about a 1-inch hole. The next shot didn't do as intended because I was shooting at the dirt underneath the Coyote. The third shot ended up hitting the Coyote in the body, and taking a look at where it impacted behind the shoulder, low on the side. That's with the Hornady SST making about a 3/4 inch hole, exiting out the lower rib cage. Alright, these next two boars were a bit of a problem there in the bottoms. I've got a lot of tree branches to deal with. I wait for the first hog to get clear and take this shot. It takes off running. I line up on the second shot, and this shot does not connect. And that hog is lost behind all the brush in the woods as it moves into the next field. I move into position to do a finishing shot for a hog that is already dead. So the hog that I recovered was 105 pounds. Looking at the first shot on it, looks to be low on the neck. And I did not get an entry side shot, but it exited there behind the shoulder. Nice crossing shot through the lower thoracic cavity. In looking at shot number 2 on the running hog, it is running from right to left, and I like the lead on this hog. This is a shot that should connect, except for one small factor. There is a tree in the way. So obviously this shot is not going to connect. The last shot on the downed hog was a quality assurance shot. It turned out to not be needed. I did not find out where the shot entered, but it exited out right about where the heart is. There was no bleeding from this wound, indicating that the hog was probably already dead at the time. The last hog of the hunt I thought was going to be a much larger hog. It turned out to be about half the size that I expected. Here it is at 55 yards. Nice headshot. Of course, it goes right down. This was just a 110-pound boar. The shot entered just about where I was aiming, which is by the left eye. It entered just below the left eye. Head wounds produce a lot of blood, and all of this blood is pretty much coming out of the mouth of the hog. As noted, the bullet entered below the left eye. It probably ended up somewhere down in the neck. It did not exit. I know some of you have requested that I do some necropsy work with some Hornady SST 123 grain bullets, and I've killed a lot of hogs over the years with this bullet, with the factory ammunition. In fact, this was the first hog there in November of 2013, a 145-pound boar. I've killed hundreds of hogs with the 123 grain bullet. However, it has been a few years since I've done much necropsy work on it, so in the next few videos I will try to get that done. These will be Druid Hill Armory loaded Hornady SST 123 grain bullets. getting a velocity of about 2,480 feet per second, which is pretty good. And hopefully we'll see that the results compare with what I got in the past, which was that these bullets tend to penetrate well, they tend to expand and or fragment well, creating fairly large wound channels, and they tend to pollute a lot of meat along the way with bits of lead fragments and bits of jacket. I don't expect any surprising differences, but we'll take a look and see if anything has changed over the last, 8.5 years. Carpe sus, my friends.